the Finnish culture has influenced me in such a way that you have to be organized.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined, because if you are the type that does things randomly, living in Finland,
Yes.
you won't survive it for long.
This is not the place for you.
You are going to hit a rock.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to have an organized life,
Yeah.
and you need to be disciplined. If something is meant to be done at this time, and
Yes.
you just have to go by the book.
Hello guys, welcome to In Out Finland. We are back with another exciting episode of Suomi Stories, where we dive deep into the lives and stories of amazing individuals living in Finland. I am your host Ilda Shaibu, and today we have a fascinating guest joining us. He is a software quality assurance engineer by day, a passionate musician by night, and a dedicated family man. He's originally from Nigeria and has been living in Finland for over a decade. Let's welcome Mr. Lanre Iwalehin. Good afternoon, sir.
Shit.
How are you doing? Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Nice to have
Thank you
you
for
here.
having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Can you give us a quick introduction about yourself? Tell us about you. Who is Mr. Lanre Iwalehin?
You don't talk everything now.
No, I've not said. There's still so much more.
Right, yeah. My name is Lanre Iwalehi Ikwesa, but I prefer to go by Lanre Iwalehi.
Okay.
Like you rightly said, I'm Nigerian,
Yeah.
and I've been in Finland for 17 years.
Wow.
I came in the autumn of 2007. Yeah, I studied in Hamena Matiko Kekolu, Hamk University of Applied Sciences, and then I was in Ireland for a double degree of exchange studies, and I graduated in 2011.
Nice.
Yes,
Okay.
and yeah, I've been in the hustling field since
Alright.
then.
Okay. So, what was your initial experience in Finland like? What actually brought you to Finland?
I have my big brothers. I have a family history here.
Yeah.
My big brother came into Finland in 1991. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a family here. He was married to a Finn. And then another big brother joined him somewhere around 1992, 93. So the other big brother too was married here, have kids as well. So they just spoke to me at some point, when I was struggling with getting admission back home in Nigeria. They said, why don't you try Finland? And then I tried, I applied, I was invited for an entrance exam. I went to Ghana to take the entrance exam. And that was actually my only trip outside of Nigeria before I came to Finland.
Time.
Yeah, as at the time. So I went to take the entrance exam,
Yeah.
and I did well. And Finland, here I come.
So, how was it like coming to Finland, your first time traveling out really of Nigeria to a foreign country?
For me, I think I would say it is two-faced. Firstly, I have family members living here.
Yeah.
So to a very large extent, I could say I had a very soft landing. Right? When you're coming, you have big brothers that are well
Yeah.
established here. You are not coming to struggle, basically.
Yeah.
So that side was good. And the second side was when I had to move, because my brother was living in Helsinki with the family. Then
Yeah.
I needed to move to the countryside where my school campus
yeah.
is, So it was the first time I was going to be alone on my own completely.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly when my brother took me to the train station. He just bought a ticket to me for me and handed it over to me and said, hey, do you know what this means? I said, what is this, sir? From now on, you're on your own. You are a man.
He had to spell it out.
He had to spell it out, yeah. He said, from now on, you are a man.
Yeah.
You are on your own. And it was the first time the reality dawned on me.
How did it make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I wasn't sure what to expect, because I had been this guy that has depended heavily on daddy, depended heavily on mommy, and then big brothers,
Yeah.
standing behind me, doing almost everything for me.
Yeah.
I knew to some extent, I was up for it, but then I just wasn't sure what to expect. And there was that nervous part of it, and there was that exciting part of it. There was that part of it that's, just curious,
Yeah.
Kilombo. Yeah.
But I think that the fact that your family members were here, irrespective, whatever happens, they will
Yes.
still you
Yeah.
still have that.
I wasn't
that
on my
thought.
own.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're not on
yeah.
your
I
own.
won't be alone. Yes, yeah.
As compared to those that would come here with no
Those
family.
people that came
Yeah.
here that crash landed. Yeah.
So you came during autumn, and so was this time that you had to move? Was it during the winter? Because I want to know like how winter
Yeah,
winter
yeah.
was like for you.
Even the autumn for me was an extreme winter.
Yeah.
Because it was already around plus 7, 8 degrees at the time, and where I was coming from,
Of course.
it
Yeah.
was we're talking about plus 38 to 40
Yeah,
degrees. So
yeah.
even what I came to meet was harsh.
So
But I remember I spoke with my dad the day I arrived. How is it over there? I said, Dad, it's too cold.
In
Then my
autumn.
brother was like, hey, you haven't even seen winter
yeah.
yet. So I was in Helsinki for roughly 2-3 weeks before I moved to the countryside. Yeah. So when I got to the countryside, it was about 2 weeks later I saw snow for the first time.
how did that make you feel?
It was a hell of an experience. Yeah. I remember I sat on my window and I was just watching the whole thing
Oh
drop.
my goodness.
And right there I just got a call from my brother, Lanre, you seen snow now. What does it feel like? I was like, I'm just enjoying the experience.
Yeah. So compared to the countryside and when you were in Helsinki, was it more cold where you were? Where you moved
It
to?
was personally I didn't see the difference.
difference,
Yeah.
okay. But
There are countrysides and there are countrysides. Right? Valkeakoski is just about 2 hours drive from Helsinki. But there are people who are in Lapland that is like 8-9 hours drive away from here.
Yes.
So I still consider Valkeakoski closer to Helsinki, and I still think the temperature, the weather conditions most of the time is fairly the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move into your professional life. What does your typical day look like as a software automation engineer?
Right. Our lives these days are mostly governed by softwares, not politicians, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost everything you do, you have to do with software. And then you have, for instance, my kids are in school today. There is an app on my phone where I'm getting updates on what is happening in school, what the child is doing, at the moment and all that. So software automation engineering simply means that there are functions that are built into a software, and every day we have to run some automation tests on that software to be sure that nothing is broken, that it is still working in full capacity.
Okay.
Right. So there are some existing tests already that we are rerunning to see that everything is okay, and then there are some new things added to the software that we still need to write some automation tests against to be sure that the functionality is working perfectly.
Okay.
So every day we come in, run the tests to get any update if anything is wrong. If anything is wrong, report what is wrong. First of all, you troubleshoot what is wrong, and then you report what is wrong. But if nothing is wrong, just update the status that everything is okay. Right.
Okay. All right. So what inspired you to pursue a career in this field?
Right. I pride myself as what Yoruba call alakoso,
Alakoso.
an organizer.
Ah.
Yeah.
My Yoruba skill,
Yeah.
it has not reached that place.
An organizer,
Yeah.
someone that you just want to be a solution giver wherever you find yourself.
Yeah.
So wherever I am, if there is an issue, I want to lock heads with people that are involved to find out whatever the solution to that problem is.
Okay.
And in our day-to-day environment, there are problems every day. There is a problem to be solved. You know, there's an issue on ground. If there is no problem to be solved, the issue on ground needs improvement. So that's how I am wired, right? And coming into the software domain, working in the software domain, software basically it's about there's a problem with the business. We need solution to this
Yeah.
problem. There is a gap that needs to be filled, and a working solution, an application is what is coming to fill that gap and solve that problem. And I mean, expressly, I just saw myself
Yeah.
fitting in like a hand in a glove, and
Okay.
it's really, really enjoyable
Okay.
for me.
Thank you for sharing with us. Let's move back to your life in Finland. How has it
Right.
been as a Nigerian living in Finland for over 10 years? What has your experience been like?
I have evolved a lot, right? The things that used to freak me, right? Is it just because I'm in Finland? I can't tell. But then I came in when I was 25, and now I'm I'm over 40.
Yeah.
And, I think the Finnish culture has influenced me in such a way that you have to be organized.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined.
On time.
Yeah, exactly.
You
On
have to
time.
communicate more.
You have to communicate more.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that has affected. I mean, it has helped me to evolve into the kind of person that I am now. Because if you are the type that does things randomly, living in Finland,
Yes.
you won't survive it for long.
This is not the place for you.
You are going to hit a rock.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to have an organized life,
Yeah.
and you need to be disciplined. If something is meant to be done at this time, and
Yes.
you just have to go by the book, right? There is
Yeah.
not too much opportunities to be flexible. Flexibility.
Yes.
You can be flexible creatively, right? But
Planned flexibility.
planned flexibility.
That's the
Thank you.
word.
That's the
Yes.
right word. Yeah.
Yes.
That is how it has changed me. Before now, I was this kind of. I have this set of friends that used to call me Mr. What's the word now? Miscellaneous. Right? I just leave things to do things based on what is needed.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, that's how I used to be. But now, I have to be proactive. I
You
have
can't
to.
be in Finland and not be proactive.
Exactly,
Oh my goodness.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the question is, how has living in Finland changed me? This
Yes,
is
this
it.
is
It has taught me to be more organized, more proactive, more disciplined. And coupled with I came in here as a single man. Now I'm married. I have a family. So
Yeah.
everything has transitioned, and yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. What cultural difference stood out for you the most when you first arrived in Finland?
You cannot just jump on things. In Nigeria, we have this kind of do or die spirit, right?
Yeah.
Something you are not aware of is thrown at you suddenly, and you just you embrace it.
You just jump on it.
You jump on it, and
Last we will go die.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where I come from, we say we know they carry last. You can't. I mean, I cannot be caught unaware. I must do it.
Yes, yeah.
So, but in Finland, it doesn't work that
There are
way.
no surprises.
There are no surprises.
There will definitely be information one way or the other. You see it
Right,
coming. Yeah.
right. You see it coming.
Yes.
You see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the first things I saw, the first culture shock I got when I came was, my first Christmas, I had a classmate whose parents were traveling out of town for Christmas. And then she hijacked her parents' apartment and organized a Christmas party for her classmates. So all of our class mates, we had to go to her parents' house for the Christmas party.
Yeah.
And I got there on my own, like empty-handed, But then I saw people walking in with their own packs of drinks, Coming from Nigeria, whoever.
If you're hosting, you're buying.
If you're hosting, you're buying for everybody, yeah?
Yes.
Right? So in Finland, you're going to party. If a Finn invites you to a party, you go there with your drink. Right?
I've not been to so many parties. So are you saying that in their house, or even if it's in a public place?
Even if it's in a public place,
Wow.
you take care of your drinks.
Okay.
The money you spend for your drink comes from your pocket.
Okay.
It's never the host that takes care of
Nigerians
that.
do
Yeah.
not like this place so much.
Yeah. In Nigeria, you're organizing your party. It is your
Yeah.
responsibility to make sure
Yes.
everybody eats
Everybody's
until they are
well fed.
until they are
Yes,
full,
yes.
and everybody drink until they
Yeah,
get drunk. It's your
yes.
responsibility. So
Yes.
that was one of my first major culture shock when I came in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you share any challenges you faced here when you first came in and how you overcame them?
Right. Coping with the weather, for instance, right? It was crazy, right? Now, I had never had experience of winter, and I walked into the winter in Finland,
Yeah.
and I didn't even get any kind of orientation, like, okay, this is how you should look after yourself during the winter.
Your brothers didn't tell you?
They didn't, I mean, they just assumed that I would know. They didn't say anything in that
Yeah.
regard. You know, I remember one day my hostel to the school campus was about 1 hour walk, and I had to walk from the hostel to the school, and without putting on anything on my head.
Oh no.
Yeah. And Finland is not as it's no longer as cold as it used
So
to be.
ahead, yeah.
Yeah, it's no longer as cold as it used to be. The temperature on that day was minus 33 thereabouts.
Oh my
And
God.
I walked exposing my head for about an hour. By the time I got into the school building, for about 20 minutes, I just sat in one place holding my head and I was crying.
Oh
it
my
was
goodness.
it was
Oh
a
my
hell of an
goodness.
experience.
Thinking about, I cannot even.
Yeah, it
imagine.
was a hell
Oh
of an
my
experience.
God.
And I remember there was my British lecturer at the time. He just walked up to me, "Are you okay?" And I said, my head. And he was like, "Is this how you came in?" I said, "Yes." "Don't you have a head warmer?" And funny enough, I had. I was even wearing a jacket. I had a hoodie that I easily could have just
Put on,
flipped
yeah.
on my hoodie. You know, I just didn't know. You know, and then he was like, "No. When it's cold like this, you either put on a head warmer. When you're wearing a jacket, you put on a hoodie. Something like this can give you some brain issues, you know."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a challenge for me. And then realistically, you're coming in, you're living in an apartment, you have to pay bills. You know, you needed to look for job. And funny enough, the job I got then was this newspaper delivery job, and you had to do it in the middle of the
In the
night.
cold, yes.
Now during the daytime, in the winter, you are getting minus 30 to 33. Then at night it goes to minus
I don't think
38,
I've seen
40.
minus 30 since I got to Finland. Lucky
Ma-
me.
then it was at night you see minus 37, 38,
Wow.
minus 40.
Wow.
And then we needed to work in those harsh conditions. And then you finish working at 6 a.m. you have to be in school at 9 a.m. You know, so those were the challenges. Otherwise, I think everything else was okay. The school was not as demanding as, you know, the weather itself was. You know, the school was laid back. There was no pressure. Your lecturers were there to give you support whenever you needed. And one of my culture shock at the time was when I was having this course then, business statistics.
Okay.
You know, the first time I sat for the exam, I failed. The second time I failed. And I went to talk with the lecturer. And then he was like, "Are you?" And then he called my name. "Are you this person?" I said, "Yes." He said, "The problem is not you. I think the calculator you use in the exam, maybe it malfunctions, or
Yeah.
maybe you don't know how to use it properly." Because he brought my script out and showed me. He said, "You are putting in the numbers in the correct places and all that, but
Yeah.
somehow it looks like when you punch in the numbers in the calculator, you get a wrong figure." And then he arranged a day and a time,
Yeah.
and then came to sit down with me for 1 hour and talked me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And by the time I took the exam again, I got a 5.
Wow.
Right?
Like
So-
from fail to 5.
from fail to 5.
Wow.
You understand? Now the shock there was that where I was coming from,
Of course.
it's unthinkable. The lecturer doesn't even.
It's not unthinkable, you know. It's rare.
It is unthinkable, except if that lecturer is your dad, your uncle,
or the lecturer likes you,
if
there's
you are a girl.
something about you. No, no. No.
Right?
There are some lecturers that they see in Nigeria, they'll tell you that I see something in you.
It's rare.
Yeah, it's very
It
rare.
is extremely rare.
But they won't sit down. They won't act. Yeah, it's unthinkable. They won't sit down with you.
Sit down with you
and explain and,
They will
and
sit
bring
1
out
hour
your script and explain to you.
and explain to you, this is where you got it wrong, this is where you got it wrong.
No, actually.
You know, really.
But here in Finland, they are not. One lecturer told me it's not about it's not about us passing the course. It's that we understand what we are being taught.
What we're being taught.
So, but
exactly.
in Nigeria, we have that mindset that we have to pass.
Exactly.
Passing means that you know what they taught you.
Exactly.
You might not know. You might have memorized it
exactly.
and then just
uploading and downloading.
Yeah, they don't even want us to memorize. Like
Yeah.
our teachers have told us, you
Just
have
demonstrate
to know
understanding.
what I taught you. Group assignments. When you think that you're coming to do assignment at home, no, do it with your colleagues.
Do it with your colleagues,
your classmates.
Yeah.
I want you guys to come up, present to me. What
And
I
one
taught
beautiful thing about studying in Finland is this: it is hard that you graduate from a course and you cannot defend it.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is really, really
Yes,
difficult.
yes.
No matter how dull you are, no
I
matter
told this to somebody,
some people
you
will
must
say, I'm not the academic type. As long as you graduated from that course, you participated
You
from
even
beginning to
graduate
the
if
end.
you do,
Yeah,
they will tell you to redo the just like how you
Exactly.
you will do it again until you know
Exactly.
it. And then they'll give you time.
I had another experience too where I didn't read enough for the exam. I just went in there and I did what I thought was good enough to give me a pass. But when the result came out, it was a fail. And then I was so sure what I did was supposed to give me a 3 at
Yeah.
least. I just barged straight into the lecturer's office. Immediately I opened the door, she just looked at me. I know why you're here. Like, yeah. He said, what you gave me is not good enough. I know you, I know your capacity.
Yes, a teacher has told me that before one time.
Yeah. She said, I know you, I know your capacity. So you gave me a crap, right? You have to sit for it again. I said, when? He said, whenever you are ready.
Yeah, and it's always whenever you're
Yeah,
ready.
he said, whenever you are
There's so
ready.
many slots, so
Exactly.
pick one.
So whenever you are ready.
Yeah.
I said, how about now? He said, are you sure you can do it now? I said, yes. And then she just rearranged the whole thing, assigned somebody to monitor me during the exam.
Yeah.
And in 2 hours I was done. And then she just walked up to me and told me, go and check your grade again. And I went and checked, it was 5. You know?
Yeah, that has happened to me one time. A teacher told me, I know your capacity. I know you can do better than this. You just wanted to pass, and I'm not going to allow
I'm not
you
going to
pass.
allow. I'm not
So
going to let you do
I
that.
want you to do it again, and don't tell me in my own words. Tell
Right.
me in your own words.
In your own words,
And I'm like,
exactly.
just pass me.
Yeah.
You know, why do we have to go through this?
Right,
Like
yeah.
they know what you can do and they want you to do. They,
They
want
want
to
you
see
to
the
do-
best
exactly.
version of you.
That's
Like
correct.
just don't write.
That's
Let us
correct,
know
yeah.
that you understand. It's really like I really like I really like the
For me,
lecturer
that was a
teaching.
massive
Yeah,
shift.
shock, yeah.
It was a massive shift. I studied in Nigeria like I was under some kind of terror. Yeah, when your lecturer is walking into the classroom, it's
If
like,
you come late, you won't write test.
seriously,
You won't write exam.
if he sees your face, he doesn't like your face, he asks you to stand up and leave. Yeah.
And if he's
Yeah.
in a bad mood too.
If he's in a bad mood, you are in trouble. Yeah. So
No, but we went through some traumatic things
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Nigeria.
right. Seriously.